Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Samasta Jana Kalyani Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. We'll read the first two verses as prayer invocation together. Purvarjitena punyena sarveshanugrahena cha jayate tattva jignasa pritiryasya paratmani. No, this is a second one. The invocation verse is different. Okay. Vaktum Subodha Vedantam pravritto hyabhutopyaham Kripaya yasya tam vande Sri Ganesham punah punah Vande Saraswatim Devim Sadgurum me Mahamatim Sita Sameda Sri Ramam Yachantu Shubhadham Madim. We saw in the last session who is the fit student and who is the appropriate guru, teacher. The qualities of the students also mentioned, the qualities of the guru is also mentioned. As a friendly conversation between two friends, also we saw that the student is clear why he is going to the guru. Atma Vijnanartham, Atma Vijna Prapti Artham, Atma Jnana Prapti Artham. And the friend also asked, what is the prayojanam of that jnanam? He says, I realize that the Atma with me is the Atma of everyone, and because of which I will be lover of the entire universe. And as soon as the student reached the Guru's abode, Guru Upasadhanam it's called. In Yoga Vasishta it is said the first one is Sabda Bhumika, the first one is Shubha Ichcha. Then continuing that there is Guru Upasadhanam, approaching the Guru. And the Guru, as soon as he reached, he says, have faith in the existence of God. And that is the first and foremost thing that a student should have. That we saw in the last session towards the end. Sarveshwarosti nasti va shankam ma kurhe somya asti nischitam shraddhasva tato jnatam vicharaya. Sarveshwaraha asti nasti va shankam ma kuru. Don't have a doubt about the existence of Ishvara. And asti nischitam shraddhasva, have that faith. Then only jnatum vicharaya. Then engage in inquiry. Now, because the Guru said God is there, you need not accept. See, a skeptic student need to be skeptic about the subject matter, not the guru. Guru he should not doubt. He can doubt the subject matter until he gets clarified. If he starts doubting the guru itself, then he will not get the knowledge at all. In Bhagavad Gita also, we see many places Arjuna asked the questions about the subject matter. He didn't say, I don't believe you. No, I don't understand what you are saying. So here, the Guru himself very clearly clarifies. We saw in the next verse, Asti rupena chedbhadi jagat sarvam tataiva tvam asato naiva kalpyeta utpatti jagata stitihi. Tvam jagat sarvam, you as well as the world, tvam tata eva jagat sarvam asti rupena bhati chet, it is always experienced as ease. That easiness, existence cannot come from the non-existence. Asataha naiva kalpyeta. That is why in the Upanishad they said, Sadeva Somya Idevagra Asid. The existence alone was, without any particular name or form. Bhagavan Krishna says in Gita also to Arjun, Nasato vidyate bhavaha na abhavo vidyate sataha. Ubayoravi drishtontaha tu anayo tattvadarshibhihi. Existence can never be otherwise. And non-existence can never be proved to be real. Na asataha bhavaha vidyate, na abhavaha vidyate sataha. Unreality of existence is never there. True reality of non-existence is always not there. And also he said, oh Arjun, you understand, you were always there. I was always there. Natvevaham jatunasam natvam neme janadipaha nacheva na bhavishyamaha sarve vayam ataparam. You were there all the time, I was there all the time, all these people were always there. And you will be there, I shall be there, everyone is. What comes and goes, what appears and disappears is Namarupa Jagat, the world of names and forms. So if you are there, your existence, you don't have any doubt. That means the cause of this must be what? As I said in the last class, if I have a golden ornament, golden chain may disappear, but the gold won't disappear. I can make that from the gold chain, I can melt it and make a ring or a bangle or anything else. But the goldness, whether it is in the form of a chain or a bangle or a ring or a necklace, will never cease to be. In the same way, existence does not ever disappear, and if that is so, the cause of this universe is what? Existence. Therefore, asataha naiva kalpyeta utpatti jagata stitihi. The existence, the creation and sustenance of the world, the cause of that cannot be non-existent. So, what is the nature of Brahman, the absolute reality? Sat. In the three pointers that was given to Brahman, the absolute reality is what? Sat, Chit and Anand. So what is the primary thing? Sat. So here in the next verse, I read, you repeat, Sadeva karanam tasmat tasva shaktya yudham prabhu Ishvara sahi vigneyo yohitvam sharanam vibhum. Here, ayutam is written, please correct it. It is ayudham. Okay, ayudha is a weapon. Ayudha is to join. So it is not, context is not correct. Ayudham, right? Tasmat, therefore, sadeva karanam. What is the cause of this universe? Sadeva. If mud pot has got mud as the cause, a wooden table has got wood as the cause, a golden ornament has got gold as the cause, what does it mean? A cause is the changeless factor and effect is a changing factor. In the case of a mud pot, mud is the changeless factor, pot is a changing factor. Because it can break the mud, the pot, but mud will remain. A wooden table is a changing aspect, but wood is the changeless. Similarly, in the entire creation of varieties of name and forms, what is that which is a changeless factor from which everything has come? Sat. Sadeva karanam tasmat. Now you see, among these 3 pointers that are given to us in Vedanta about Brahman, Sat, Chit, Ananda, one must recognize that this Sat is that which undergoes no change at any time. Whereas Chid, the consciousness, while in the waking state is as though overpowered by experiences of the senses and the mind and the feelings, emotion, etc. Accordingly, it changes its color also. I am conscious of this. I am conscious of I being upset. I am conscious of being happy. I am conscious of. So the consciousness, it takes the forms of what you are conscious of. Similarly, Ananda also, Bhogananda, Vishayananda, that Ananda also goes through the changes according to what you are experiencing. But existence doesn't change. Even as you go to the state of dream experiences you are conscious of. Dream pleasures you are aware of as experiences of joy. But there also, you had no doubt that you were there to dream. Even when the dream ends, when you go to the state of deep sleep, where no other experiences are taking place, but you have no doubt that you existed there. Existence did not undergo any change. Rahugrasta divakarendu sadrusho maya samachadanat sanmatra karanopasam haranato Yobot Sushupta Puman. Bhagavan Shankaracharya says in Dakshinamurti Stotram, just like the moon and the sun are apparently get eclipsed, and we call it in our Hindu tradition as Rahu has swallowed it. Rahu Grasta Divakara Indu Sadrushaha Samaha. Like that of the sun or the moon devoured by the Rahu, yet it appears to have disappeared, but it is not non-existent. You don't see the sun because it is eclipsed. Maybe this part of the world it is eclipsed, another part of the world sun is very bright and shining. That is why we say solar eclipse can be seen from this part of the world, or so lunar eclipse can be seen in this part of the world. Eclipse you can see in one part of the world. Other part of the world has got a beautiful moon going on there. Moon did not exist, did not disappear. It didn't become non-existence. The same way, Rahugrasta Divagarendra Sadrusho Maya Samachadanat Sanmatra. He says very clearly, Sanmatra, meaning existence alone. Karana upasamharanataha, when all the sense organs, the mind and everything is withdrawn, yaha abhut sushuptaha, one who goes into the state of deep sleep. Praga swapsamidhi prabodha samaye ye pratyabhignayate. And at the end of the sleep, nobody needs to tell you that you slept. I know I slept. Not that I did not exist while I was sleeping. If I was not there, I would not know that I slept. So, existence, sanmatra, can never disappear. That nature, that's sadeva karanam tasmat. And this very Paramatma, which is of the nature of pure existence, brings about the existence of the world out of himself only. And for that to bring out, he uses a particular power called Maya. Swa Shaktya Ayudham Prabhu. Prabhu, Paramatma, here takes up the Maya as his Shakti and creates the universe, and when he can become a creator, he has become Ishvara. Ishvara sahi vigneya. Brahman becomes Ishvara only when he uses the Maya as the power to create it. That's Sahi, he alone, Brahman alone, Ishvara idi vigneya. Now you understand him to become the creator. That is why in our tradition, as we start understanding this very clearly, that Brahman plus Maya is Ishwar. But that Ishwar has got three roles to play: to create, to sustain, and to annihilate. And when that particular role he plays, then that Ishwar himself is Brahma as a creator, Vishnu as a sustainer, and Shiva as the annihilator. And the Shakti that he uses are, Shiva uses the Shakti Durga, Vishnu uses the Maya called Lakshmi, and Brahma uses the same Maya Saraswati to create. Shiva uses the Maya Shakti to annihilate, Vishnu uses the Maya Shakti called Lakshmi to sustain, and Shiva uses Brahma uses the Saraswati as Maya to create. So, Ichcha Shakti, Lakshmi, Kriya Shakti, Durga, Jnana Shakti is Saraswati. Ichcha Shakti Swarupinyai Namaha, Maya Shakti Swarupinyai Namaha, Kriya Shakti Swarupinyai Namaha. It's the power of that Maya that is wielded by Bhagavan. So, what is that is referred here as? Ayudham, power, the strength. And therefore, as you and as individuals, even though we cannot comprehend the idea of Brahman as a pure existence, because existence is always associated with something. An object exists. Let us say that I have the book, therefore the book exists. When the book is gone, I exist. When everything is disappearing also, even my body is gone, I exist. As Paramatma, I am Atma Brahma. This self with no name and form exists. That very existence which has become this creator of this universe, Ishvara, Tvam Sharanam Vibhum. Yohi Tvam Sharanam Vibhum. That is your refuge. Understand therefore, oh my dear student, that God, see, as I said yesterday, about that which doesn't exist, there is no argument. Do you have an argument about my horns on my head? But what are we arguing about whether God exists or not? Because I don't see it. That is the argument here. I see, I don't see, therefore it doesn't exist. If that is the case, if you say that whatever I don't see, it doesn't exist, I never seen your brain. I doubt you have it one or not. we believe only what we see. In that case, I never seen your brain. I don't think you have any. Hey, that cannot be an argument. Now, another interesting point here comes. The student must have a unshakable, unquestionable faith in the words of the Guru and Shastra. Very important. So therefore here in the next section he starts with that. Atmajnane pravritto yaha Shraddham sandharaye dhridam Shraddhavan labate jnanam Nanyatetam sunischitam. Yaha atmajnane pravrittaha. He, the one who is now engaged in or engaging in the path of knowledge, self-knowledge. Atmajnane pravritte yaha, pravrittaha yaha. First and foremost is Shraddham, Dhridam Shraddham Sandharayet. Hold on to unshakable, Dhridam, firm faith. If you doubt in the beginning itself, you will never put the next step. Anything that can be accomplished can be only when you think, I can. Isn't it? If you have taken a profession, whatever it be, you are. Before you chose that profession, did you not think that you can? You doubted it. If you had doubted it, you would not have started it. Oh, my cousin did it, my neighbor did it, my friend did it, therefore I did it. No. They might have done whatever they have done. You did it because you thought, I can. Without that, you would not have embarked on that. See, when you go to from here to another place, you are taking a flight, you buy the ticket and get into the flight, you don't even know who the pilot is. Whether he knows how to fly at all or not. But don't you just go and sit and then close your eyes and then go to sleep and then without any kind of worry. You know why? I am in the flight, the flight will go there to the destination I want. Do you have any doubt about that? If you keep doubting, then you will never live in this world. Samshayatma vinashyati. If a person who is constantly doubting is called a doubting tamas. It's not doubting tamas, doubting tamas. A person of tamas only constantly will doubt everything. Because he lives in darkness. So in this context, I have to tell you, there are two words, Viswasa and Shraddha. We must understand these two. About the known, you have Viswasa. About the unknown, you have Shraddha. You know, in Tulsi Ramayana also, Bhavani Shankarau Vande Shraddha Vishwasa Rupino Yabhyam Vinana Pashyanti Siddha Swantastamishwaram. Dushidachi says, I salute Bhavani and Shankar. Mata Bhavani and Bhagavan Shankar मैं नमन करता हूँ क्योंकि what they are representing श्रद्धा और विश्वास. I bow to them because they represent faith and trust. Trust in something which you know, faith in that which you don't know. You know, when you have a friend and then he says that I want to take some money from you, fine. I'll give it back to you in another week or so. You give. Why? You trust him. Isn't it? You know him. You know your friend and you know he can, probably he's in a financial crisis and I know that he can pay. So that is trust. But faith is that which is one step higher. Even if I don't see, I have faith in that. And that can come only when you believe in the source of knowledge. So here, Shraddhavan labate jnanam. Here, Shraddhavan labate jnanam, Shraddhavan labate atma jnanam. You see, when you go to university and start learning a particular subject, the professor is talking about the subject. Will you not immediately go to the library and check up whether what he said is right or wrong? Nowadays, the students spend more time in the library than in the lectures. Because the lecturer himself is speaking from the library only. And he'll say, okay, for more reference, go to the library and look at these books. Because I cannot talk about the whole thing myself. I'll give you the glimpse of it. You go and further read it. Because his source is also from the library books only. But in the Atma Jnanam, the reference is Guru's knowledge. He has experienced it. No doubt he will refer to the scripture. That's why Shrotriya. But at the same time, a Shrotriya alone cannot be a guru. He is only a scholar. Brahmanishtaha. He speaks out of personal experience. That you cannot refer to any book. Shraddhavan, a person who has the faith in the source. Labate jnanam. Tatpara sanyadendriya. That is said by Bhagavan Krishna in Gita. Here Guruji quotes that Shraddhavan labade jnanam na anyatha, not by any other way. Idam sunischitam. This is firmly established here. It is a firm conviction. It is sure that only a person of faith can gain knowledge. Again, knowledge is not merely collection of information. Nowadays, what happens is kids, anything you ask, I'll go to Google. Google is collection of information. It can be a collection of misinformation also. You would not know when it is given in the website. How do you know it is right or wrong? Who is the authority for that? Anybody can write anything. Collection of information is not knowledge. And therefore, a guru is not merely a collection of information. He is not a person who refers here, and then says, this is said here, Ramayana, it is said in Mahabharata, and it is said in Bhagavatam, it is said in Upanishad, therefore it is true. No. This I have read, and I thought about it myself. Personalized it, experienced it, and then I am telling you this is true. That is the reason why the student must take up the Guru Upasadhanam. Going to the Guru with the complete faith in that Guru. That's why in the next verse he says, 5 things, 5 kind of Shraddhas are necessary. Faith is based on 5 categories. What are those? We'll see here. Pramana buddhir vedante. Brahma sadbhava nischaye. Sadguror brahma nishtatve. Swatmana karma samartye. Sadhane guruna prokte. Viswasa palanam tata. Evam panchavidha shraddha. Bhavet sadhaka muktita. First is Pramana buddhi. Pramana means Pramikaranam Pramanam. Means of knowing. There are 6 means of knowing according to Vedanta, but mainly 3. Pratyaksha, Anumana, Shabda. Pratyaksha means what you can directly encounter, directly see with your own eyes, and about which you have no doubt about that. So that the eyes seeing through the senses is a Pratyaksha Pramana. Certain things you do not see directly, but you can infer, logically infer it. That's called inferential knowledge, Anumana Pramana. Let us say that I walk out of this building and then I see that the entire parking lot is wet. What is my knowledge now about how did it happen? I have not seen. When I was inside the room, there was no experience of rain. I did not hear any rain coming down. But when I walked out, I saw the entire parking lot is wet. Then, when I was inside, it had rained. This is Anumana. Anumiyate. Anu means following. So, you know the logic behind this, right? When it rains, it gets wet. So, rain you have not seen. Cause you have not seen. But the effect you have seen. From the effect, you infer the cause. That is called Anumana Pramana. Now, Pratyaksha Pramana is what? Aksham pradi yajnayate. Whatever is seen directly, when I see a lamp lit there and it is a light, it is not inference. I see it. Then what I don't see, what I cannot infer, must be given to me as a knowledge from the right source. That is called Shabda Pramana, Vedanta Pramana. Which is not possible for me to directly comprehend, nor I can logically infer. This requires an authoritative statement from the scriptures. Now, how many of you believe that a man landed in the moon? You have not seen it. Did you see it? A man landing in the moon directly, yourself going there? You have not. All right. You may are you inferring that they might have gone? Why? They brought some sand, and therefore sand is from the moon, and therefore when they brought the sand from the moon, therefore they might have landed in the moon. Well, sand can be from somewhere else also. What is your pramana for believing that a man landed in the moon? Reports. Scientific reports. That is a pramana. That is Shastra. Scientific reports are Shastra for the scientists. Experimented and documented is what is called Shastra. Somebody had done it sometime, not in front of me. So, how do you believe that? Because it's a scientific proof. What? It's a documented evidence. That's what is called documental evidence. Shabda Pramana. All right. Now you see, first one is you must have faith in the source of knowledge. Just like when I see something by my eyes, and I have no doubt about that. Because why? It is my own eyes I'm seeing. I was thinking about it yesterday. So one boy went to the guru, one student, and in front of him he kept a rose flower, a flower he kept. And he told that student, look at this flower and you have to answer which color is this flower out of the three choices that I give you. Okay? Okay, what are the three choices I give you? It is white, it is blue, or green. The boy said, looking at the flower, sir, it is not white, it is not blue, it is not green. What is the color then? The boy said, red. So you have not given me that choice. You have given me only three choices. All right. Out of these three choices, none of them fit. It is red. So the guru said, prove that to me that it is red. It is not white. It is not blue. It is not green that you are saying. Prove it to me that it is not white, it is not blue, it is not green. What will say? You see it. No, prove to me that it is red. Then the boy was smart. He brought a cloth, which is a red cloth. Sir, what is this color? So the Guru asked, am I asking questions or you are asking questions? No, I want you to find out. Tell me, what is this color? Red. Is it not this color and this flower, this cloth and the flower are the same? If you say so. Now you see, okay, I accept that it is red. The Guru said, I say, okay, you are right. You said that it is red and I accept it. Now what is red? R-E-D, what is red? Red is a color. How do you know that red is a color? Who told you? So the boy said, I learned when I was young. When you were young, somebody showed you a color, a flower and said, red. You never read it before. It's a red. Now, at that time when your teacher said it is red, you never questioned it, right? When you came home and you saw a red cloth, red. So the mother and father are very happy. Oh, my child has not started recognizing colors now. And if at that time your father or the mother said, no, that is not red, you would have got confused. Huh? It should be red only because I saw the flower which is shown by my teacher as red and the same color is here. How are they not saying that it is red? He gets confused. No parents would do to confuse the child. And when the child says it is red color cloth, you say, yes, it is red. And another thing is red. So over a period of time, you know what is red. Where did you get the first knowledge from? Shravana. What is your source? After which you never had never a doubt about that color. The source is always something which is given to you through your learning, through hearing. That is a Shabda Pramana. What you don't know, you know only by listening from the right source. So Brahman I don't know. So therefore when the Pramana is believed, when I have Shraddha in the Pramana, then I have Shraddha in Brahman. That's why next one is Brahma Sadbhava. Brahmanaha Sadbhava. The existence of Brahman is known and I have faith in only when I have a faith in the Pramana. You see? A thing is existing, that existence of the thing is proved to me because I believe in my eyes. My eye is the Pramana and the object is what is Prameya, what is to be known. So, Shastra is the Pramana and Brahman is the Prameya. So, Brahmanaha Sadbhavaha Nishchaye Shraddha. Only when I know what is Brahman, at least intellectually when I understand, then I know where the Guru is standing. Guroho Brahma Nishtatve. That my Guru is abiding in that Brahman. He is abiding in the pure existence. He is abiding in this pure bliss. He is remaining established in the highest truth. Otherwise what happens is, when we do not have the Shraddha in the Shastra, I don't study Shastra, and therefore I do not have any clue about Brahman. When I look at a Guru, what do I think? Dadiwala. Wearing a Rudraksha and wearing a Chandan, Kumkum and all those things. I will see only external part of that Guru and I do not know what standpoint he is standing from. Where is he sitting? Where is he operating from? I have no idea. Why? Because I don't even know. See? Shastra Pramane Shraddha. Brahmani Shraddha. Sadguroho Brahmanishtatve Shraddha. Then only you can believe, or you can completely have Shraddha in, he can take me there. Atmani Shraddha, the fourth one. मुझे भी वहाँ मुक्त, मैं भी मुक्त, मुझे भी मोक्ष मिलेगा, मैं मुक्त बनूंगा. I also can be free. I can also reach that freedom. Why? Because the one who is guiding me is already there. Atmani Swatmanaha. I can reach there. And when I believe that my Guru is already standing there, beckoning me, and I can reach there. And now the Guru says, do this particular sadhana. Karma Samarthya. Because Guru himself did that. And he reached there. And he says, it's like I go to let's say I go for hiking. Many times it happens. When you're hiking and a long time, and you know the peak is quite far away, and you keep looking at it because you have a map or a Google GPS or something, and you're looking at it, some more, I know how long it will take. It's getting strenuous, I'm tired, and it's very hot, and then fatigued. At that time, somebody is coming down. You know, first thing, how far is this? You ask that, invariably everybody asks. Or even if you don't ask, that fellow would say, out of pity would say, don't worry, another 10 minutes only. Sometimes they say to encourage us, it will also take another 25-30 minutes. We are coming down, it took only 10 minutes for him, but going up it will take 25 minutes. And he'll say, only 10 minutes. I just started at 10 o'clock, I'm here at 10:10. So you can also. So, but that encourages, that means I can reach there. And which is the way? Just this way. There may not be any road. You just climb on this and you will reach there. So we believe in the one who has been there and coming down and tell us how to go. That is sadhana. The Guru comes to our level and says, it is possible for you also. You go in this path. Karma samarthye, sadhana samarthye. In the ability to perform and practice that sadhana. Therefore, sadhane guruna prokte. Sadhane guruna, those very spiritual practices which are given to me by my teacher, Viswasa. Faith in that, palanam, abhyasa. Practice of that also, tata, in the same way as he has described to me or explained to me to follow, then evam panchavida shraddha. These are the 5 different forms of shraddhas. Bhavet sadhaka muktidha. They become the giver of liberation to the student. Pramane shraddha, brahmani shraddha, guroho Brahma bhave nishtata, nishtatva shraddha, atmani shraddha, then sadhane shraddha. This is why shraddhavan labhate jnanam. A person who has the right knowledge from the acharyavan purusho veda. A student who has a teacher must reach there. Because the Guru is already established and he would not leave the student unless he accomplishes that. Yesterday also we saw, he gives that kritarthata to the student. All right. Now, let us understand Pramana. We saw that the source of knowledge. How do we understand what is the source of knowledge? What is that to be done here? Now you see the next 2 verses here. Sadhyade sadhane naiva sadhyam kimapi kenachit apraptasya hi praptyartham Jnanam karma cha sadhanam. Avidyaya ched apraptam. Tarhi jnanam hi sadhanam. Pramanato vicharena. Jnanam sanjayate sputam. Three things anyone, anything can achieve when he knows, when she knows what is the means to do that. Kimapi kenachit sadhanena sadhyam sadhyate. Sadhyam, what is to be accomplished. Sadhana, the means to accomplish. Sadhyate, accomplishes. Anything can be achieved through the right means by anybody. So when you say anybody, what it means is anybody who has the qualification for that. So the qualification itself is a sadhana. You see, earlier also it is said, a person who has viveka, vairagya, shama, dhamma, uparadi, titiksha, shraddha, samadhana, mumukshutvam in full measure is mukta only. Why we are not liberated? Because we are lacking somewhere. One of the elements is lacking. Either we do not have right viveka, ability to differentiate, or we do not have enough vairagya, or we do not know how to control our mind or the senses and how to withdraw our mind and senses, or we do not have shraddha, or we do not have the titiksha or tolerance, or we are not able to absorb ourselves into the higher, or we don't have fundamentally desire to liberate. If we have in full measure all these, we cannot but be liberated. So one person came to me and said, Swamiji, you talk to us about for so many days about moksha, Yes. आप दे दो ना मोक्ष मुझे. मोक्ष दे दो बस, कुछ नहीं चाहिए, मोक्ष दे दो. I said to him, I don't mind giving you moksha if I can, but first of all tell me what is moksha. बताओ पहले. If you want something, all right, you tell me what it is, then I can give you. Our problem is we don't even know what moksha is. What is that freedom which you are looking for? That itself is confusing to us. Once we know what moksha means, I'm telling you, please take it seriously. When you know what moksha is, you don't ask anybody. Because nobody can give you. Can you go and ask somebody, please, shanti de do bhai, shanti de do. Who will give you shanti? Maybe he can give his daughter shanti to you. But shanti, peace, peace you have to find yourself. So when you want to take rest after a long day of working, you take rest. You take, right? Nobody can give you. Can you go and ask somebody, please give me some rest? Can you? Anyone? Please? Aapke paas hi hai. Moksha nobody can give you. Please. Guru can guide you to that point. If any guru says, I will give you moksha, stay far away from such person. Please, I'm telling you. Because real moksha is not somebody else. It is not available from someone else. Everything else, somebody can give you happiness, somebody can give you pleasure, somebody can give you money. Moksha, nobody can give you. So, sadhana for that, sadhanena eva sadhyam sadhyate kimapi kenachit. Now, there are two things. Apraptasya praptihi, what is not with me which I need to gain, I use karma. See, when you send your children to school or university, what is the purpose? The purpose is that fellow become a professional, a person learn in a particular field of knowledge, and once he becomes familiar with or adept in a particular field of knowledge, he will get a appropriate job, and then when he gets an appropriate job, and he can earn money, and when he earns money, he gets whatever he wants, right? So jnanam becomes a means to karma. Please understand this point here. Jnanam becomes a means to karma. Therefore, he says, apraptasya praptartam jnanam karma cha sadhanam. First we will given what? Jnanam, then karma. In loka vishaya prapte, laukika vishaya prapte, in the worldly objects and worldly achievements and worldly prosperity, etc., ज्ञान पहले आता है, उसके बाद ही कर्म. You send the child to the school, children to the school and university, etc. What are they doing? Jnanam, jnana prapti. Then with the use of the jnanam, karma. Then whatever they want, they get it. But in the Atma Jnana, karma cannot do anything. Because, you know, why? Karma can bring you or get you something which you don't have right now. Whereas Atma Jnana is that which points out what is already there. Avidyaya ched apraptam. I don't know. I think I don't have it. Apraptam hi avidyaya. Due to my ignorance, whatever is already there, I am unaware. That is why Bhagavan Shankaracharya very clearly says, Jnanam, for what purpose is Jnanam? Jnapakartam Jnanam, na Karakartam. Very clear and straightforward. Na Karakartam Jnanam, Jnapakartam hi Jnanam. Atma Jnana, Jnapak karne ke liye, to remind you what you already are. Not to create anything, not to produce anything, not to bring you anything, not to manufacture anything. आपके पास ही है, आप नहीं देखते हैं. You already have it, you are not looking at it, you are not paying attention to it. Avidyaya ched apraptam tarhi jnanam hi sadhanam na karma. लौकिक विषय प्राप्ति ज्ञान का आवश्यकता है और तथा कर्म करने की आवश्यकता भी होता है. It is to be followed by action. Whereas in the gaining of that moksha, which is already there with me, which I am not aware of, there is no action that can come to accomplish that, I can use to accomplish that. The jnana itself will remove the misunderstanding, avidya, ignorance, and I come to know it. And that is the reason why pramana. I should know the correct way of thinking. The knowledge is so crucial here, and right source of knowledge is crucial. Pramanata vicharena. By right kind of knowledge and thinking about it. Pramanataha vicharena. Pramana margena vicharena. By the right means of knowledge and thinking in the right way, jnanam sanjayate sputam. Sputam jnanam sanjayate. Correct knowledge takes place. Once the knowledge takes place, there is no doubt about it anymore. As I said in the example, when somebody shows you a red flower, you don't need to ask somebody else about it. Is it red? Is it red? Is it red? No, I know it. It is red. Why? Sputam jnanam. I know it. I have doubtless knowledge. This doubtless knowledge comes to you from where? Where does it start from? What is that source of your knowledge? Here it is said in the next verse, as we see, verse number 3 here. Shravanam, mananam, dhyanam. Vedantasyaiva sadhanam Prochade swatmalabhartam Mukyatastu guru kripa. Swatmalabhartam, for accomplishing one's own self, Vedantasya, in the path of Vedanta, Shravanam, Mananam, Dhyanam, Sadhanam. Listening, reflection and meditating are the means. Iti prochade is spoken. What is spoken to be the means for gaining oneself the true liberation are as listening, Shravanam. Now, you see, as I pointed out earlier, what I don't know, I need to know. There are three things which you have to understand. First of all, when the student is not a student, he doesn't know that he doesn't know. So, before you came to learn Vedanta, did you know about Brahman? Nobody taught you in the university. In the school, you did not learn unless you went to Balvihar. You didn't go to any Balvihar, nowhere. And so you just went to your schools and you went up to 12th grade and then you went to university and all that thing. And then when you got your children, you came to know that there is something called Balvihar running there for the children to learn about stories, about Rama and Krishna, etc. So you got interested, okay, let my children learn something about Mahabharata, Ramayana, something else. And you brought them to the Balvihar class. And then here, the Swamiji and said, no, you should pay. Adult class also you should attend. Arey, prarabdha hai kya? I came only for the children. Why am I to sit down like a student? Anyway, chalo. Sat down there. First time I heard Brahman. क्या है Brahman? Brahman होता है ना, एक Brahman का. I'm only getting confused here. But slowly, as you keep listening week after week, you come to know, my God, what this Brahman, which is what I am? I did not know. According to the person who is talking, or the Acharya, or the Swami, or Brahmachari, whoever it is teaching me, what are they talking? I know about Rama and Krishna and Shiva and Hanumanji, but then I come to know that Vedanta talks about me as the essence of God is already in me. The presence of the Lord is already in my heart, which I am not able to recognize. Therefore, I need the temple or anywhere else to recognize that the supreme beautiful Lord is the one who is being worshipped there in the temple anywhere. He is already sitting in my own heart as me. Is it not? I don't know. Now, second step is what? I know that I don't know. Now I know that I don't know. Now then the next step is I want to know more and more of it. See how Shravana creates that transformation, you see. Now the interest starts. What is this? So the student is one who is taking up the journey to know about something which is unclear to him. Not that he completely knows nothing, then he will not even seek for it. I know, but not clearly. What is it? Once that correct way of learning has been introduced by the teacher, and then the teacher not only tells you what you do not know, but at the same time what you should know, and he says how to know, how to think about it, how to think in your own mind, churn in your mind what is said, you keep on reflecting in that. That is called mananam. You don't need a book for mananam. Okay? You know, we published the book called Mananam, that's a different thing. But Mananam karne ke liye, you don't need a book and sit down for Mananam. Mananam is where you leave the book. Sun liya, pad liya. I have read, I have heard. Right, now, let me think. The way it is pointed out. And the logic is provided, how to think. Once you have, I mean, even while thinking, you may get some doubts. You go back to the Guru, you go back to the book. Okay, I have a doubt here. So that's why when I tell, during the study groups, I tell the study group sevak, etc., you should do minimum talking, maximum reflection. Because you, as a study group sevak, all that you need to do is to make them discuss. They are doing open mananam. They are discussing on what they have already read. You only guide them how to think. Once they know how to think, then independently they can sit down and start thinking about it. Once the clarity comes, then comes the attempt to know, attempt to experience. That is called nididhyasanam or dhyanam. Now I have understood what it is. I have no doubt in my mind. Asamshaya jnana praptavan aham no anubhava praptyartam dhyanam. And for the sake of experiencing that in my own self, karomi, dhyanam karomi. I will do the dhyanam to personalize that knowledge. Get dwelling into that knowledge. Own that knowledge. Experience it. So this is the method that is given by Vedanta. That is why it is said here, Swatmalabhartam sadhanam Vedantasya shravanam mananam dhyanam sadhanam prauchyate is spoken. But I am telling you, as here also is written, what is most important in the whole process is mukhyataha tu guroho kripa. The Guru's grace is very, very crucial here. Even while listening, you must have the complete faith in the Guru, what he says. But his grace is to guide you to understand. He will come to your level to make sure that you do not have any doubt while listening. As much as possible, he will clarify your doubts out of compassion. And when you are sitting in the in the seat of mananam, it is Guru's words that will ring in your head, not what you read in the Shastra. It is Guru's words that will ring in your head. This is what he said. This is what he said. And when you are in the seat of meditation, it is the same Guru who will glide you into that state of experience. He may not be personally sitting there next to you, but internally he will guide you there. And that Guroho Kripa Eva finally will reach you to Swatmalabha and the obtainment of that supreme state of oneness with the truth. So these are the things which we need to understand in the form of what is that? Pramana. Now, going deeper into the sadhana of Shravana Manana Nididhyasanam, here we read Sadhanam Antarangam Kim Bahirangam Kimuchyate Chitta Shuddhi Samadhana Karakam Sadhanam Bahihi Yajñodanam Tapaschadi Sagunopasanam Japaha. Sadhanam bahirangam tat katyade shastra sajjanaihi. Sadhana is of two kinds, preparatory and subtle, or primary and the higher. Preparatory or primary spiritual practice is mainly meant for purity of mind. So one is called Bahiranga Sadhana, Bahi Anga, external. Another is called Antarangasana, internal. Let me give you a very crude example. Let us say you are calling your friends for a evening party. So when you are calling them for an evening party and you are the host, and you told your wife, today I am calling 4-5 friends and we will all have dinner. She said, you should tell me beforehand. You're telling me today, and today evening you are going to have. I have to prepare food for everyone, and I have to go to the market. I have to get the vegetables, and I have all other ingredients. To tell me, give me some time to do this. Suddenly you say this. I'm sorry that I forgot to tell you, but anyway, whatever you can make, you make. No. That's not right. You are inviting people, and then I can give you what? Roti chawal, dal. You have to prepare at least 2-3 varieties of things. Now, so she had to, or you alone, you and your wife had to accompany her. You have to go to the stores, get all the ingredients that you want, chips you need, rice, or the vegetables, and oil, and all that. So, and then you come home and you do not do anything. When she starts working for the next 2-3-4 hours, go on cooking. Many times we take people for granted, which is not right. You should give her enough time to do all those things. But anyway, because you committed, she has to accomplish that. Now, next to 2-3-4 hours, she is preparing various things. She has to plan first what are the things to be done based upon what vegetables are available, what ingredients are available, etc. So now the food is being prepared, and finally, before the guests arrived, she was so sweating all over the place. Let me go and take shower and look fresh at least when the people come. All right. So the food preparation is over, right? And then the party starts and everybody is sitting. Not in the COVID times, okay. I'm talking about normal times. So everybody sat down, and then the first starts with what do you call that? Appetizers. Appetizers usually not cooked. It's chips and salsa. That's fine. The point is that, and once that the food is laid out on the table for everybody to eat, and now the food intake starts, they all start to eat. Now you see, preparation is necessary for the food to become a digestible food. Correct? Now, you cannot ask all your friends to come, and now, what are we going to do? Eat. What? Let us think about it now. Nowadays, that is also possible. You order the food and come also. That is also possible. But that is also prepared before. Somebody had to prepare. Either your own wife has to prepare, or somebody else has to prepare, right? So this preparation is necessary for going to the next level. Similarly, do not say, Swamiji, nowadays I am trying to meditate. I am not able to meditate. Arey, prepare nahi kiya aapne? Kya shravan kiya aapne? People want to do meditation without doing the other two. And even before doing shravanam, you should have done chitta shuddhi, purity of mind. Because when you are hearing from a teacher or reading from a book or anything, your mind must be available to listen to it. If the mind is preoccupied with so many other things and something has happened and your mind is agitated over that, or mind is disturbed and going here and there, even if you are listening, you will not be able to understand anything. That's why Gurudev will say it's a cross ventilation. He goes here, it goes out there. Nothing happens. That's why he says, Sadhanam antarangam kim bahirangam kim. What this question is by the student, what is Antarangasadhana, what is Bahirangasadhana? What is a spiritual practice which is inner practice and external practice? In the example that I gave you, a preparation, everything is over, food is taken. Now the food is taken in, understand one thing, food is taken in, what happens inside? That is Antarangasadhanam. If I'm eating the food and if my stomach is not good shape, what will happen then? Even though the best of the food may be given to me, I can't digest. So Antarangas, you must have already done, at least you might have fasted for one day just to eat a good food, or you might have done a good exercise, or you have gone for a walk, and you must be hungry. Then only the food will really digest well. Your metabolism must be increased. In the same way, what is the Bahiranga Sadhanam, external preparatory practices, what are the internal preparation that we need to do? The student is asked. So, first he says, Chitta Shuddhi Samadhana Karakam Bahisadhanam. Preparing the mind in the form of creating purity in your mind, Samadhana, and quietening the mind are the external preparatory practices. Chitta Shuddhi Tada Samadhan. Purity of mind and making the mind relatively quiet. What are those? Yajna, Danam, Tapaha, Sagunopasanam, Japa. Yajna, rituals. Rituals include any offering that you give to Bhagavan, the Lord, as Namama offering, sacrifice. Danam, again, not to God, but to people, sacrifice. See, you do not anymore hold the ownership of yours and recognize that it belongs to only God, and when you give, it is called yajna. When I know what I have is not only for me, for everybody I can share with, and you give to those people who really need it, Danam. And when my own mind is having all sort of urges and I offer to my own higher self, where I do not own that anymore in my mind, I sacrifice into myself, Tapaha. Tapas is denying the pleasure to yourself, denying the indulgences. Denying here does not mean a negative way. Letting go. I don't need it. So anybody who is fasting, let us say Ekadashi Vrata, or then Navaratri time, then you 9 days, what are they trying to do? They are letting go. Is it not? Not necessary. Food, not necessary. Water, not necessary. At least those 9 days, I am not taking food, I am not taking water. When you say, what are you saying? I am letting it go. You let it go for God, yajna. Let it go for other being, dhanam. Let it go for your own higher nature, tapas. And when you have a personal deity, you worship and invite that presence of the deity in your heart very lovingly. It's called upasanam, sitting near with the form which has guna. Sa guna upasanam. Sitting near the form of the Lord who has a particular form and qualities, that sitting near and worshipping the Lord is called Saguna Upasanam. And taking the name of the Lord so that the mind need not go here and there, keeping it one point and Ekagrata Chintanam, Ekagra Chintanam, what is that? Japaha. One pointed attention. Yajnodhanam tapaschaiva pavanani manishinaha. Bhagavan Krishna said, Yajna, Dhanam, Tapaha, all these things can purify the mind of anyone. So, Sadhanam Bahirangam Tat Katyate. These are all called external sadhanas. Shastra Sajjanaihi, by those people who have studied the Shastra, it has been spoken that these are all the external sadhanas for anyone. And what is the bottom line of all this? Chitta Shuddhi, purity of mind. Chitta Shuddhi Sabadana Karakam Bahiranga Sadhanam. Very good. All right. What is the Antarangasadhana then? Having prepared the mind, having prepared the purity of the mind and quietening of the mind, what is to be done? Antarangasadhanam, which is already spoken earlier also. Vedanta yenatma darshanam bhuyat antarangam taduchyate Shravanam mananam dhyanam sakshatkarasya sadhanam. Antarangam taduchyate. It is considered as the internal sadhanam. What is that? Yena, by which Atma darshanam bhuyat. I come to realize my own self. What are those? Shravanam, Mananam, Dhyanam. These three are considered as Antarangasadhana. Sakshatkarasya sadhanam. This is for the sake of self-realization. Direct knowledge of the self. Now you see, Anga, the word, is meaning is part. Part or auxiliaries. Part, auxiliaries, or you can also mean means. External means Bahiranga. Internal means Antaranga. Now, let us say there is a table like this big here in front of me, and I need to move from this to the next room. Now, if I want to do that, I need help. I cannot lift it myself. So I asked some volunteers, 4 or 5 of them, okay, let us move it from here. I take it from there and put it there. All right. If nobody is available, then what do? Then I need a kind of a cart on which I can lay the table slowly and then wheel it to the next room. So the trail, I will call that the equipment that I use, through which I can take it there, becomes the Bahiranga sadhana. So Bahiranga means externally a help available to you, in other words. A trolley is a Bahiranga sadhana to take the chairs or table to the next room. Or when some people are available to me for me to carry all these things, they are also become external means. Now, external help when I get, it can only take care of to certain extent only, because always the external means are temporary. Whether it is people or an equipment or anything which I use. Please understand one thing. I am not saying that you don't need a Bahiranga sadhana, but you need only to a certain extent. Now, why I am saying this is Yajna, Dana, Tapa, Saguna Upasana, Japa. They do not directly give you moksha. Swatma jnanam vina mokshaha na siddhyate. Without the correct direct knowledge, this moksha is not available. Now, therefore, whenever I use the external sadhana, whether it is yajna, sacrifice, ritual, dhanam, charity, japaha or tapaha, any kind of austerity, Saganopasana, puja ityadi, japaha, chanting many names of the Lord. These are all temporary. And anything temporary cannot give you permanent result. It will give you only temporary result. These are all karmajan vidditan sarvan. Understand, Bhagavan Krishna very clearly says, all these are all connected to karma. And karma can give you only limited fruit out of it. As Ramana Maharshi has said in the Upanishadasara very clearly, karma tajjadam. Karma is limited. Tat phalam jadam eva. The result is also jadam only. Kriti moho tadau patana karanam phalamashashvatam gati nirodakam. Phalamashashvatam. It is only temporary there. The temporary, the result or temporary means and temporary result, you cannot expect permanent solution. So, even as one takes up all these Bahiranga sadhana, one should know that they have an effect, they have the usefulness only to certain extent to prepare me for that, for the Antarangasadhana to start. Only when a person is able to pay attention without any distraction in the mind with the help of japa, only when a person has gained enough dispassion out of yajna, dana, tapa, by which one has renounced the ownership of things, is ready for vivek, ready for gaining correct knowledge. Therefore, Shravanam. Listening to scriptures, having prepared the mind to become quiet, one-pointed, not holding on to anything. And such a mind, when it listens, it gets it right away. When the mind is not pure, don't blame the teacher, don't blame the Shastra, and don't blame yourself also. What it means is my mind is not available. Gurudev used to say, let us say I want to paint a beautiful picture. I am a good artist, I am a good painter. I have a lot of imagination. I take my brush and dip it in the paint. Now let me paint. And there is a canvas you are holding on. Let us say you are holding the canvas on which I am going to paint. And when I am about to start to paint, you move. What will appear on that canvas? You know what will appear? That is called modern paint. You know, modern art. You know what is a modern art? Eyes are somewhere, the leg is somewhere else, the teeth is somewhere else, the face is somewhere else, the mouth is somewhere else. And that's why they put a name below, because you do not know which is top, which is bottom. You need to write there. Modern art. Nobody understands what it means. Modern art. Why? Because the canvas is moving all the time. If I have to really bring out my imagination into the painting, the canvas must be still and steady. It should not move. Then whatever I would like to paint can be beautifully painted there. In the same way, if the mind is constantly oscillating and going here and there and agitated, how much ever be the good is, how much ever great is the teacher, how much ever is that knowledge that is perfectly purely given by the teacher, you will not get it. So Bahiranga Sadhanam is necessary for purity of the mind and samadhana, quietening of the mind. Once the mind is quiet, alert, vigilant, available, then that when such a student listens to that knowledge, like Nachiketas, immediately he will get it. The mind is ready, pliable, pure, clean. So that is why it is said that Antarangasadhanam is Shravanam, and once a person has listened to it correctly, without any ambiguity, when he sits or she sits for mananam, reflection, as I said, you will exactly remember what is said. You can reflect upon what is already been heard by you. And once that clarity comes, then gliding into that state of meditation, to own up that knowledge and experience it, the next step is very easy and very effortless. As Guruji also write in the Dhyana Swarupam, Dhyanam nama swarupasya sahajambana muchyate. Effortless attention upon the self. It is not karma. It is not sagunopasanam or japa. Naidat karma vishesham va sagunopasanam japa. It is not any karma in action. It is not a sagunopasana, a devotional practice, not a repetition of the name of the Lord. So therefore, Shravanam, Mananam, Dhyanam, Sakshatkarasya Sadhanam. These three are meant for realizing that absolute truth as is. Now, Swamiji, I am all set. All that you have said, Antarangasadhanam, I have already done, Swamiji, completed. Fir bhi, there is a great obstacle that is sitting there in front of me. क्या है उसका नाम क्या है? ये देखो. That is called Maya. Arey Baba, I thought that when I do Antarangasadhanam it's all over. No, wait. So that is said in the next chapter as it is beginning there. Daivi hyesha gunatmika Prabhu Maya Duratyaya Aham Mameti Rupasa Mithya Bhoga Pralobika. So, as I am taking up the next chapter, we'll see a few verses there. And if you have any questions, you can ask those questions through the link that is provided there. You can click on that and start asking questions, because as soon as I finish this 2 verses, I will take up if you have questions. If you don't have questions, I'll continue a little more. Okay. Even if when a person has completed the practice of Antarangasadhanam, purity of mind, everything is gained, yet there can be obstacles. Now, you understand one thing. Whatever you do, yajna, dana, tapa, and sagunopasana, japa, all that thing, they can only take care of creating purity of mind now, but does not assure you, they do not assure you the effect of vasanas. Because those impressions that we have gathered over many lives, which are present in us as our inclinations, they cannot just go away because you did some kind of a charity or upasana or japa. And in fact, in japa, you come to realize how much are sitting inside you. How many different things that are present in your mind which are prompting you to get into the world. Bhagavan Shankaracharya very beautifully puts it in Vivek Chudamani. Jnate vastunyabhi balavati vasana anadiresha karta bhokta pyahamiti drida yasya samsara hetuhu pratyak drishyatmani nivasada sapaneya prayatnat muktim prahuttadiha munayo vasana tanavam yat. Muktihi vasana tanavam. Bringing down, thinning down the vasana is liberation. As and when you attempt to reduce your vasanas, that very moment itself you start experiencing freedom. Freedom is not suddenly one day you wake up and then you find suddenly I'm realized. It's a gradual process of opening up. As and when your vasanas are thinning down, to that extent your mind has become free. The entire personality starts expressing it. Even when you know the truth, there is an intense presence of these vasanas internally as well as externally. Now you see, that's why it is said, that power which creates the entire creation called Maya, you understand one thing. Who is Ishvara? When we saw earlier also, Brahman plus Maya is Ishwar. But Vedantic definition of Ishwar is not only that. Samashti Vasana Upahita Chaitanyam Ishvara. The creation is nothing but collective vasanas expressing. Collective vasanas. Total vasanas expressing in this world. A lion has got its own vasana, an elephant has got its own vasana, you got your vasana, and everybody, all these people according to their vasanas acting, that is the world. Isn't it? The world is nothing but what I want to do, what you want to do, what she wants to do, what another wants to do, and all living beings, what they are engaged in according to their own needs. Samashti Vasana Upahita Chaitanyam, Samashti Karana Sharira Upahita Chaitanyam, consciousness plus total vasanas is equal to Ishwar. That's the total vasanas is the Maya there. And that is Daivi. It is given that status of what is Deva Jataha Daivi. That which is born out of the divine origin. He Esha, this one is Gunatmika, of the nature of Trigunatmika. Devi Hesha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duratyaya. That's what is reproduced here. Devi Hesha Gunatmika Prabhu Maya Duratyaya. Prabhoho Maya. It is God's power and Duratyaya, difficult to overcome. Now, you need to understand two words very carefully. Maya, Mithya. I'll come to that. Okay. When it is externally present as the power of the Lord, Maya. But when it is internally by you, when it is prompting you to look at the world according to your guna, Mithya. Bhagavan Shankaracharya, Ardha Shlokena Pravakshami Eduktam Grantha Kotipihi Brahma Satyam Jagat, he didn't say Maya. Brahma Satyam Jagat Mithya. Jivo Brahma eva na aparaha. Jivaha Brahma eva na aparaha. Why he said that Jivaha Brahma eva na aparaha, even though Jiva, individual Jivatma is Brahman only, not anything else, and Brahman Satyam, Brahman is the truth, then immediately he should have said Jagat Asatyam. No. He said Jagat Mithya. That's why he say Aham Mamedi Rupa Sa Mithya. The world by itself is not going to trouble you until you come to look at the world as मैं, मेरा, तू, तेरा. तेरा मेरा मेरा तेरा तेरा मेरा मेरा तेरा यही प्रभु की माया, इससे कौन बच पाया. Mine, me, mine, you, yours. No object comes with the label it belongs to somebody. Is it coming like that? You go to a store and buy something, is it given? There is a label, belongs to Mr. So-and-so. Is it so? Is it given label there? You go to a store and buy something, is it written there that it belongs to somebody? But the moment you buy it, immediately what? Mera hai ye. Meri hai ye. Kahan se aaya wo labeling? Mine? In here se. It's not written in the world. In the objects, it is not written that it belongs to you. You assume it. Moment I give the money, mine. Where is the mind coming from? Mind. See the word mithya, I was looking at it carefully. It's very interesting. It comes from two possible roots. It has two definitions. Matate, medate, mithya. Matate means matanam karoti. It churns you inside. Mithya is that very maya, that trigunatmika maya which is sitting inside you and then churns you. Sometimes it is sattvic, sometimes, most of the time it is rajasic, and definitely it has some tamasic dispositions also. Matanam karoti. Constantly it is doing the churning inside. That's why we call the qubit as Matan Mohan. Matanam karoti, mohanam karoti, matana mohana. Manmata. Man ka matan karta hai wo. So our desires are that which churns us. So matate, and another meaning is metate. You know what metate means? Associates, connects. And when you look at it, what it means is that metate iti maya, matate iti maya. Metate, when you take it as a meaning, it means it associates jada with chaitanya, sat with asat, nityam with anityam. Now, this physical body is inert, but I am not inert. I am alive. I am consciousness. I am aware. So this awareness, which part of the body it belongs to? It doesn't belong to any part of the body, right? But I am aware. So what does it mean? It brings Chaitanya and Chetana, associates both of them. That is called Mithya. It brings association of Sat with Asat, real with unreal, eternal with ephemeral, permanent with impermanent. That association it brings. Agatita gatana patiyasi maya. What is impossible made possible. So again, coming back to the point, externally when it is the power of the Lord which does not delude the Lord, maya. Internally when it starts churning into you as your own gunas, according to your vasanas, mithya. Aham mameti mithya. Aham mameti rupa sa mithya. What does it do? Bhoga pralobika. It gets you into bhoga. It creates an intense desire, indulgence, craving into that bhoga. Pleasures of life. So this very maya, which is the obstacle for a sadhaka, therefore here it is said, with this one more verse we will see and then we will proceed to the next one. Tartumimam ye gachanti yasyam te kila majjanti kadam taren naro mayam tatropayo guru proktaha. Ye, those people, imam tartum gachanti, those who have decided to or intending to tartum, to cross over. Taranam is to cross. Tartum, for the sake of crossing over to that maya. Ye gachanti, those who are attempting on their own, te, those people, kila hasyam, majjanti. When they try to cross, they drown. They get sunk inside. You know, if you have to go across a river, if you don't know swimming, and even if you know swimming, if the current is too fast, or the water is too deep, or if you are physically tired, you will drown. So if you don't know swimming, and if the water current is very high, and the water is also too deep, but when you have a boat, is it not easy that you can easily cross? That's why Bhagavan says, so for those people who would like to cross the samsara sagara, I am the boat. Teshahamaham samuddarta mrityu samsara sagarat bhavami nachirat partha maya veshita chetasam. I become the means to cross that. So here, those who are attempting to cross without proper preparation, therefore, kadam taren naraha mayam. How can a person cross maya? Please, O Guru, please tell me. So, tatra upaya Guru prokta. Now, Guru is giving the upaya, the means to that. That we will see in the next class. Okay. Now, let me see the questions that some of you have started to ask. The question that is raised today is, does the Guru have to be alive, or the teachings from the previous Guru be followed for guidance? Yesterday also I said, external Guru, a personal physical Guru, is a must for a person who does not have the correct knowledge or does not have the required amount of vairagya and shamadama, all those qualities. The Guru's role here is crucial because he not only teaches, but he also prepares you to listen. And his guidance is necessary to create correct amount of, the correct degree of shamadama ityadi. Under his vigilance, under his guidance only. Once the Guru has understood that you can stand on his own, he will leave you. Then thereafter he is so confident that now you can take it. It is like a flight which is picking up the speed should need the ground. Without the ground, the flight can take off. Let me see. The ground is necessary for it to start proceeding, and then once it starts picking up the momentum, and once it has picked up the momentum alone, the pilot will withdraw the wheels. Don't say that I have seen a Guru and he told me this, and after that I don't need a Guru. Don't do that. Once you are ready, the Guru will leave you anyway. Now you don't need me. So you have to be honest to yourself only. I'm still lacking Viveka, Vairagya, Shat Sampatti and all those things. Then I need a Guru to guide me properly in that. Okay. Hari Om Swamiji, you mentioned that effect of Antarangasadhana is only in the now and does not guarantee protection against Vasanas. Since Antarangasadhana is said to lead purity of mind, Bahirangasadhana will lead to purity of mind. Okay, then how do you Vasana still have control over the purified mind? Is their effect not weakened because the mind has purified? Okay. Purified mind is able to recognize the Vasanas. It is not a victim. It becomes a witness. Even as it witnesses the Vasanas' propensities, it has not overcome. It knows. See, earlier I don't even know. Earlier I don't even have an idea that I have these Vasanas. These kind of intense desires I have, which I don't even know. Only when I start to quieten the mind through Bahiranga Sadhana, I come to recognize that, hey, these are all sitting there. That's why Bhagavan Shankaracharya says, Jnate vastunyapi even when you know. Balavati, strong. Vasana, these tendencies. Anadi, beginningless. Esha. And how does it come to manifest? Karta, Bhokta, Api Aham Idi. मैं करता हूँ, मैं भोगता हूँ. I say, this kind of thoughts are there. So, Bahiranga sadhana is preparing the mind to understand the obstacles. Earlier, I don't even know the obstacles. So once I know the obstacles, I look for knowledge. How to overcome this? That's why he's asking, how to overcome this? Oh, Guru, please tell me this. Mayam katam tarit naraha. So, Antarangasadhana, Shravana Manana Nididhyasanadi, along with Guru Kripa, when it is intensifies, then one understands the mithyatvam of that vasana, the false nature of the vasanas. Earlier, when he is practicing, when he does not even undertake the Bahiranga sadhana, he doesn't even know the vasanas. Majority of the people, if you say vasana, what they say, smell? No, impressions. We came to know only when we started to listen to Gurudev, etc., right? When we started to read Bhagavad Gita or Upanishad, whatever. Until then, we did not know. Once we know, then knowing alone is not sufficient. I know that I have vasana. All right, then what? Did you stop it? No. So when you start understanding the vasanas and slowly withdraw from their propensities, the purity of mind increases. As mind has become more and more pure, as even the vasana rises up in your head, you will know, this is not right. But how will I overcome? It is coming, but how will I overcome this? Shramana Manana Nityasana. Brahman or the Supreme Consciousness does not have the properties of Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. Okay. Maya or Prakriti, however, has these properties. Okay. The world has these properties. Fine. Isn't it easier to accept that everything is a combination of consciousness, Purusha and Prakriti? What arguments did Shankaracharya put forward to reject dualism to establish the non-dual philosophy of Advaita Vedanta? So, the Sankhyan philosophy that comes up with the concept of Purusha and Prakriti, and they accept the duality, apparently. Anything that has another one is not free. If you are talking about freedom, there should be one without a second. If the second is there, it is bondage. Therefore, Advaita Vedanta, according to Shankaracharya, is that where Maya is not a real one, it is apparent. He did not say it doesn't exist. It is like this. You have experienced a dream, you cannot deny that. But when you wake up, you know that experience was temporary. From the standpoint of the waking, a dream has no permanence, even though you experienced it. You don't deny the experience. Similarly, the world is experienced. Even by a Mahatma, it is experienced. He doesn't deny the experience. If it is fire is there, you put your hand, it will be hot. और महात्मा के लिए वो fire hot नहीं होता है क्या? It is fire. Fire has a quality. Fire is a quality of heat. It will be there. But understand that owning up that experience and suffering that is possible, is not. Suffering can be overcome when I know it is temporary, it is relative, and my nature is one without a second, and when I open my eyes, look at the world, I see variety. But that variety need not be permanent. It is not permanent. Let me hold on to the absolute, one without a second, which is present always, and let me look at from that standpoint all that is present in front of me as temporary. Okay. So, is sannyasa a must to attain self-realization, moksha? When you talk about sannyasa, you talk in terms of a traditional method of giving up, taking up to sannyasa ashrama. But really speaking, when ownership is renounced, that is sannyasa. When physically you take sannyasa but still the ownership continues, that is not sannyasa. Isn't it? The mind is still holding on to the objects and you have taken a physical sannyasa, it is not sannyasa. That's why Bhagavan Shankaracharya says, Jatilo mundi lunjita kesha kashayambara bahukruta vesha pashyannapi jana pashyati moodah yudara nimittam bahukruta vesha. The true sannyasa therefore is losing ownership in your mind. Ye mera nahi hai. I can use it, I may probably use it to the extent I need, but I am not depending on that. That doesn't dictate terms to me. When you realize that and use it in that way, you have taken sannyas only from that. What happens therefore is, since it is difficult for us to be in the midst of things and claim the non-ownership in your mind, there is a tradition of moving away from it. That is what is said. That is a conservative approach of taking sannyas. I hope that made it clear. And so, ownership when you renounce, Bhagavan Krishna also very clearly says, Nahya sanyasta sankalpaha yogi bhavati kaschana. Unless you have given up the thought of ownership, there cannot be freedom. Okay. How will we know when we have found a guru? As I said earlier also yesterday, when you are viveka vairagya, your ability to differentiate, dispassion, quietening the mind and the senses, etc., when you have developed it to a certain extent, with the grace of the Lord, that is a must. With the grace of the Lord, Guru will come. You will see Guru or Guru will come to you. The union will happen, the meeting will happen. Even if you are prepared, there is one crucial factor that is necessary, is Ishwaranugraha. The Bhagavan knows that you are ready now. Then a miracle will happen, meaning in the sense, a divine intervention will connect a disciple with the Guru. Pranam Swamiji, what are the practices a seeker? So, before. So, not only you prepare yourself, but also pray. That's why yesterday I said, I have the land, I have the money, I have the plan, I have the engineer, I have the architect, everything. The city is not giving me permission to build the house. What can I do? In the same way, you may get ready with all the qualities that are spoken in, but along with that, pray. It's a very important factor that you seek the help of the Lord or the Guru to be connected with. How will we? Okay, Pranam Swamiji, what are the practices a seeker should practice to attain moksha? Cautions to be taken. As we have been seeing, moksha is not somebody going to give you that. It is already there. It is like I want to see the sun, but the cloud is obstructing my view. It is not the clouds are covering the sun. Clouds are only obstructing my view, my eyes. Similarly, my knowledge is overpowered by the impurities and everything that I have, or misunderstanding, etc. As I attempt to understand the knowledge clearly, as I start making my mind pure and unpointed, slowly you will come to see the freedom happening in you. As I said, it is not suddenly one day you wake up and then you become moksha. If somebody says, now I woke up and I become realized, stay away from such people, because there cannot be sudden moksha. Somebody suddenly getting up in the morning and became moksha. ऐसा नहीं होता है. Is it that one mother suddenly became mother, suddenly one day wake up and I have a child now in front next to me? It's a process. It's a process. You have to evolve into that, flower into that, blossom into that. And slowly as you start experiencing the freedom because of your mind not getting the hangover, holding on to things, your mind is free. You are not holding on to things too long. Either thoughts or people or object, anything. It's just you interact with them, but let that go. Don't hold on to it. Quickly remove from your mind. Release it. And as you come to release it very carefully, diligently, you will find you are traveling towards your freedom. Light-hearted you become. Not preoccupied. The mind is not preoccupied. You are able to interact with everyone without any reservations. You are just free. You are just pure in every interaction as much as possible. You can. That freedom comes. Does Guru have to be approachable, and how do you know who is realized himself? Nobody can. There is no testing available. You cannot go and say, Guru, yes, I want to test you whether you are realized or not. He will only laugh and say, okay, test if you want. If you know how to test, test. Nobody can test. Guru used to say, it's not some horns on your head. Every day you just, I don't know whether the horns are not coming out. It's not some external feature. It is see, if I give you a sweet and I ask you how sweet it is, how will you explain to me? You tell me. How you are experiencing the sweet, can you ever 100% communicate to me? Is it possible? Whatever way you explain how sweet that sweet is according to me only I will understand, correct? You can never exactly tell me how sweet it is as you experience it. At the maximum, what you do? Hey, lelo. You also experience the same. That's all I can do. And you experience yourself. That's what the Guru does. I know what it is. Now it is up to you. You come to that point and you will know what I mean. Okay, so nobody can test it. As you become tuned to the teacher, you know exactly what he's saying. You know what he is experiencing. That's what Gurudev said, I am available all the time. You come to me, I'm waiting for you. Once you know me, once you come to me, you know who I am. Whom I have been. You have seen me in person. Now you see me in your own heart. Okay, last question. How do we go beyond Maya and Moha and just become witness? We'll see tomorrow in the class. That's a topic that we will take up. How to overcome this Maya. That's the question raised by the student, right? Naraha katam taret mayam. How does a person can cross over this Maya? So that we will take it up as the topic tomorrow. Tomorrow is the last session, so we'll complete it. Om sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukkha bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Thank you.